Hey everyone! There's nothing quite like fall, is there? The crisp air, the vibrant colors, it's the perfect time to get outside and enjoy nature. Today we're exploring one of South Carolina's most breathtaking spots, Lake Jocassee. Nestled in the Blue Ridge Mountains, this lake is not just known for its crystal clear waters, but also for the stunning fall colors that transform it into a true natural wonderland. I'm your host, Mike Sarr. This is the American Dream, selling the Upstate. So Ken, when I first moved here about 10 years ago, I was told there was no natural lakes here in South Carolina. Everything was man-made. Why is that?
It's all about the power, man. They started with Lake Jocassee, which is right down below us, with the nuclear facility. And so they started damming up the water. So you have 5 rivers that flow into Lake Jocassee. So they built a dam down below us to capture the water in Jocassee, which flows into Jocassee, which flows into Lake Hartwell. And then on top of all of that, you have about a 400 foot wide and 400 foot deep conical reservoir with a 90-foot diameter pipe right in the middle of it. So when that fills up with water, they essentially open up that pipe, water flows out, comes through this turbine and creates energy into Jocassee. Jocassee goes down to the lower dam. They open up that turbine and water flows into Jocassee to make energy. And of course, Lake Jocassee flows into Hartwell. So these were the 3 man-made lakes after the core lake of Lake Hartwell, which is 58,000 acres, which has been there since the 30s. So we built these lakes primarily just to get energy for not just the upstate, but for the country. A lot of the power in the country originates from here.
So Ken, I'm seeing all this vast array of colors, and it's obviously a big draw to come to the lake in the fall time. So which varieties of trees produce these colors, and when is the season for fall color?
Yeah, you can see a huge variety of trees out here right now. You'll see the reds, which are indicative of maples and dogwoods, bronze, which are indicative of some maples and birches and oaks, a lot of red oaks. Hickories will be a bright orange as well. But yeah, so the season starts typically in about the middle of October and will end somewhere around the middle of November.
So Ken, you've been here most of your life. What was here before? Like what is under us?
Well, previous to me, there was life here. Years ago, it was the Cherokee, this was the primary Cherokee village of this region. And then pioneers came in and they settled, and just right in this area right here, we're standing in about 300 feet of water right here. But this became a big farming region. A lot of pioneers settled in here. You go past the dam there, on the other side of that dam is Lake Jocassee. And there's several farm plantations that used to be down there. They're all flooded. This entire area here was a village. You had post offices, churches, homes, schools, all under these waters. But this became an opportunity to develop energy for not just this area, but for the United States, the nation as a whole. They have a nuclear facility. They have a dam we saw earlier, the Bad Creek facility that we're generating power. You see the 2 towers there. They're generating, those are turbines that generate power. And then below that, there's more power generating going on. So this is, a very useful reservoir for us in terms of creating energy. But it's turned into like a huge mecca for tourism, huge economic impact in tourism. This is probably one of the most visited lakes. You can find a cove, a private cove, any day of the week on the busiest days of the summer, and still have a private cove to yourself, or share a waterfall with other boats. Because you saw some waterfalls today, were just absolutely amazing. Come out here in the summer and swim behind a waterfall, swim under a waterfall, swim around the waterfall. It's just absolutely amazing. You'd never think that this was here in South Carolina.
And what other activities can you do here on the lake?
This is a huge scuba diving area. So you have, over on this end, you have a scuba diving access point where they do classes. So all of the scuba diving businesses within about 150 mile radius come here to do their open water diving. Right over here where you see this white beach, just beyond that is what they call an underwater playground. So they've gone under there and they've got a 65-foot boat. They have other things, they have a basketball goal. You can play basketball with a rock. They have a chess and checker table. You sit down and play chess and checkers. And they have cables down there to pull you around through the boats. And so it's about 50 to 80 feet deep in that area alone. Then you have Devil's Fork State Park, which is where we came out of. They have, I don't know how many acres, but lots of campgrounds, RV sites, 25 cabins, RV villas, 2 and 3 bedroom villas. Jocassee Lake Tours has done a huge job of becoming environmentally protective of Lake Jocassee. So they have all sorts of classes around identifying plants, knowing the trees, knowing the rock structures, knowing the geology. And then Brooks Wade, who started Jocassee Lake Tours, saw the loons. I've seen loons out here for years and never thought anything about it. But he came here and saw it and said, that doesn't make any sense. So he started working with some biologists up north, and they came down here and said, you're right, it doesn't make any sense. Bottom line is, long story short, they discovered that the loons historically would fly from the north to the coast. But we started building lakes, and then I guess a loon's flying over and sees water and lands. And so it evolved over years. So now we have several hundred loons that make this their home during the winter time. And so he's built a huge tourism industry just around the loons by helping them tag them, helping them count them, and just going out and visiting the loons back in these coves.
I've heard the term Blue Ridge escarpment. Can you kind of elaborate on how that affects us here at the lake?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, if you just look at the hue you see right now, it's just this blue hue. It's the Blue Ridge Mountains. And the Blue Ridge escarpment is an indication of the fact that it is a bona fide rainforest. And we have a lot of plants here that you can't find anyplace else on earth. For example, the Oconee Bell. The unique thing about the Oconee Bell is it grows here in the Jocassee Valley region, and you can't grow it anywhere else. We've had botanists come in from all over the world and try to plant this Oconee Bell. Clemson has come in and tried to do something with it. You just can't get it to grow anywhere else because of just the nature we have here, the soil, the shade, the temperament. Yeah, so just a huge amount of wildflowers that you'll find out here, you know, and it just continues to go. So like in February, the Oconee Bell will start blooming. Then you have some wildflowers come out. Then you start hitting late May and the Mount Laurel will come out. When that's going out, the rhododendron are going out. Then you hit summertime. You start going in the fall and you see all these fall foliage colors, fall colors. And then winter hits and you'll see a lot of leaves falling, but every season is very unique because you see things you don't ordinarily see at any other lake. And it's also a huge fishery too. They stock this lake with rainbow and brown trout. Department of Natural Resources puts, I don't know, several hundred thousand fish in this lake every year. So it's become a big fish hatchery. State records are caught on largemouth, smallmouth, spotted bass, so it's a great place to go fishing.
You were telling me over here, this was kind of like the setting for a movie, is that correct?
A major motion picture movie starring Burt Reynolds.
Really? Which one?
Called Deliverance. You know, that's not too popular around here, but the fact is that, yeah, the film started here. So you see that rock wall there. If you remember, Burt Reynolds was saying in the film that he wanted to raft that river because they were getting ready to dam it up and it'd be gone forever, it'd be underwater just so you could have power. He was talking about this lake and Lake Healy. And at the beginning of the movie, you'll see where the rock movers are out blowing up a wall and moving rock. That's that wall right there. They're dynamiting the wall, had these big rock mover trucks hauling it over and stacking it on that dam right there. And the dam is 800 feet high, 400 feet high and 1,000 feet wide at the base. Nothing's poured, it's just stacked rock. 1,000 feet wide at the base, 400 feet up.
If you're looking for a fall escape that combines adventure, beauty, and tranquility, Lake Jocassee has to make your list. Huge thank you to Ken Sloan, our boat captain today, with Lake Jocassee Boat Tours. His service and his knowledge of the lake and the Oconee area is bar none. I'm Michael Cassar, your host of American Dream TV, selling the Upstate. I encourage you to come back, come visit the Upstate and live out your American dream.